So in this quiz and video, we will be reviewing loading types. So our objectives with this question, which is shown below, is understanding and applying these different types of loads. So to quickly review, let's go over the different types of loads. First, we have dynamic loads. These are loads that change with time, specifically really quite quickly, approximately within a second. Next, we have live loads, which also change with time, but they specifically change over the actual structure's lifespan. And then we have distributed loads, which are loads that spread out over an area, which is shown over here on this simple beam. This is as opposed to point loads, which simply act in one space. And finally, we have moment loadings. These are rotational in nature, and they are caused by either moments, other forces acting at a distance, or torsion. So now that we've reviewed these different types of loadings, you can take some time to go over the question yourself, and then come back to this video. Okay, so we can pretty easily eliminate the first option here. While we are discussing dynamic loads, it's pretty obvious this bridge is not experiencing a tsunami. So we can pretty safely eliminate the first option here. Now the second option, we're talking about water pressure on the foundations. So as the water is coming in, it's hitting these structural foundations and applying pressure forces onto them. What's important to note here, since we're considering dynamic loads, is that the water is moving. There's a current, there's wind, which means the loading will be constantly changing, which therefore means that this water pressure is a dynamic loading, making the second option true. Now the third option, we're dealing with live loads, specifically the pedestrians, who are grouped up in different places. They're moving and shifting around, meaning that the loading is changing. It's also important to note we have a structure meant to move people from one side to another. So the pedestrian loading is something that will change over the lifespan of the structure. So this makes the third option also true. Now we're once again talking about the water pressure here, but now we're considering if it's a distributed load. I've already sort of drawn it, but the actual loading will spread out over the entire foundation here, which means that water pressure on the foundation is a distributed load. It's also important to note here that we're dealing with hydrostatic forces, which is something you will learn a bit more about later, but these are always distributed loads. So our fourth option, also true. Now our fifth option here, dealing with moments, which is again rotational loadings, we're also dealing with weight, which is a force due to gravity, so it's a downward force. So as the gravity force is pushing down on the foundation, because we have two fixed ends, we are not causing any rotational moments with the downward force, meaning that there is no moment loading from the weight of the deck. So the fifth option is false. So in summary, these are the three loadings that are true, and these are the loadings the bridge experiences.